What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, helping you take your game to the next level. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 tips that'll help improve your defense drastically in Madden 18. Now, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos and you want to improve your Madden game, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you join the notification squad and never miss an upload. So what's up, guys? Like I said, today I'm going to be showing you 3 tips that will help improve your defense drastically in Madden 18. I've done a few videos like that this year, and people seem to like them when I kind of just combine a few tips into one video. You know, little tips and tricks, little tidbits to help you out. So thought I'd do another one of those with some different tips. So for the first tip, this is something I think that really goes overlooked and a lot of people don't know about, and it can be very helpful, especially in the run game. Well, it's a run defense tip, and this is a very run heavy game. So the first tip is going to be bear defensive fronts. So you have 3-4 bear, you also have 4-6 bear in the game. 3-4 bear will be in a lot of 3-4 base playbooks, for example the Chiefs playbook, the Ravens playbook. 4-6 bear, I believe it might be in the 4-6 playbook, and I think it's in the Saints defensive playbook. Those might be the only 2 that have that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what bear fronts do is they do a really good job at stopping the run. That's what they're really good against, and a lot of people are still having trouble stopping the run. Try a bear front. I prefer 3-4 bear over 4-6 bear, but they're both good. But also because 3-4 bear is in better playbooks. So for example, 3-4 bear, typically you want to call cover 3 or cover 2 invert, one of those 2. So for example, we'll show it here versus deuce close. Halfback wham, for example, one of the better runs in the game. This does a really good job against just runs in general, but especially these ones that people have such a hard time with. You see how the gaps just fill up. He got like a 1-yard gain there. We'll do it one more time. Try to run the ball on it. And you'll see again, just really good run defense. Doesn't matter if it's an outside run, inside run. 4-6 bear does a really, or 4-6 bear and 3-4 bear does a really good job at stopping the run. It's a lot harder to run through the gaps against a bear front. The way it sets up, it just makes it very difficult to run the ball. And if you come out in a cover 2 invert or a cover 3, you still have good coverage on the field in the event that they would have passed the ball too. But if you're playing a guy that's run heavy, try using a bear front, and you'd be surprised at just how well it does against the run, and you'll start forcing your opponent to have to pass more. So the next tip we want to look at is going to be something that's going to help balance your defense a little bit. So let's say you're playing someone on offense that plays pretty balanced. Let's say, you know, sometimes you have your run heavy guys and then you have your pass heavy guys, but then you have guys that are balanced. They might use a lot of shotgun formations, but they'll run a lot from shotgun. They'll run a lot of inside zone, or maybe even if they're under center, they're using like pass heavy under center formations, like, you know, single back tight slots, or, you know, something that has 3 or 4 wide receivers, but they still run the ball too, but they pass it just as much as they run, and you're not really sure on any given play if they're going to run or pass because they're so good at keeping it balanced. The best thing, in my opinion, to do in this situation would be to call a balanced defense and a balanced coverage to combat this. So what would that be? In my opinion, you would want to use something like a nickel 3-3-5 or just a nickel formation in general. You could use 3-4 as well, although 3-4 is going to be a little bit more on the run stopping side. But let's say you still want some extra defensive backs out there because the guy's, you know, passing just as much as he is running. So maybe you want to use a nickel or a nickel 3-3-5, but for your coverage, you're going to want to use cover 4. Now, why cover 4? Most of you know I've harped on this all year. Cover 4 is one of the best run stopping coverages in the game because the safeties are in run fits. What this means is your free safety and your strong safety are run first defenders, which means they're not going to backpedal immediately at the snap. They're going to stay put, and if the running back gets the ball, they're going to attack. They're going to be in the box, and they're going to play aggressively in the event that there's a run. But why you want to be in cover 4 out of a nickel type formation is if they were to pass, okay, right here, we still have 8 guys in coverage, so we still have just enough guys in coverage to stop the pass. We have a nickel back on the field because let's say they're running a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. You're going to want that nickel back on the field because he's a better defender than a linebacker is in terms of pass coverage. So you have the right amount of resources on the field to stop the pass, but because you're in a cover 4 shell, you're in a shell that does a very good job at containing the run. So on any given down, whether they run or pass, you're equipped to at least contain both. Whereas if you were to come out in a dollar formation in a cover 2, you're pretty much just hoping they pass in that situation. You're not in a good run stopping formation. Or if you come out in a 3-4 or 4-3 formation, you're more heavily reliant on them passing the ball there, whereas if they, or on them running the ball, if they were to pass the ball, you know, they would have a better matchup problem against you because of the defense you're in. But if you use a balanced set like a nickel and you use the cover 4 coverage, you're going to be able to stop both. And then in this event, you can also pinch your defensive line just to say, okay, in case they do run, I have my defensive line pinched here, so you know, I'm kind of helping to muddy up the holes that they can run through, but I'm also in a cover 4, which means these guys are going to attack more aggressively. So if I go to run the ball, you see how the safeties immediately filled those gaps and didn't allow me any room to run. I'll go to the replay here just to show this. So watch both safeties. We got, well, I'll just flip it this way. We got 38 and we got 29, Eric Berry. Notice how at the snap of the ball, they don't move back. They stay put. They're reading the play. Okay, he's got the ball. Let's attack. And you see here, 38, which I believe is Parker. You see how he got in right here and filled this gap? That's right where I was trying to go with Montgomery. I was trying to go right here. He fills that gap. There's nowhere for me to go. So by using a cover 4, I'm both equipped to stop the run and the pass. If they were to pass there, I still had 8 guys in coverage. He would have really had to thread the needle. There wouldn't have been just wide open passing lanes. But if they do choose to run the ball, I have the right type of defense to fill the gaps and help contain that run. Yes, they might still break a run here or there, but at least I'm putting my defense in the best position to succeed. So if you're going against people that are very balanced, they mix in the run and pass equally, use cover 4 and use a balanced set. Use a set that can both defend the run and the pass, but also use cover 4 because that can contain the run and the pass equally. So that'll help you from, you know, guessing wrong and getting gashed in the run game, or guessing wrong and just allowing a big pass play. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds and playing bend don't break pretty much. So the last tip is a coverage tip, and I've stressed it a lot this year. I've done at least a couple videos on it, but I wanted to include it in this video because I don't think it can be harped on enough. Use cover 6. Use cover 6. Use cover 6. Mix this in as much as possible. It doesn't matter what formation. You can use it out of 3-4. You can use it out of nickel. Let me see if this nickel has it. Yes, cover 6. Doesn't matter what formation. Pretty much every formation has cover 6 for the most part. Mix it in, because the thing with cover 6 is that it just gives people trouble. I don't exactly know why it gives people so much trouble, but it just does. A lot of good things to be said about the cover 6. One, basically what it is it gives you a cover 4. If you're looking at the left side of the field, it's a cover 4 shell. If you look at the right side of the field, it's a cover 2 shell. So it goes against everything that people practice against. Most people don't practice against cover 6 or cover 3 cloud. They just practice against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4 man, just the basic defenses. A lot of people don't practice against cover 6. So they might look at the right side of the field to make their read, and they say, oh, okay, it looks like a cover 2, but maybe you're usering over there, so it kind of makes them say, okay, let me look to the left side of the field now. So then they go look to the left side of the field, but now it's a cover 4 on that side of the field. So they looked at the right side, they're automatically assuming it's just a cover 2 defense now. They progress to their second level read, go to the left side of the field, and now all of a sudden it's a cover 4. They get confused, they throw a pick. Also, cover 6 is another coverage that's good against stopping the run. You have a safety right here, Parker, he's in a run fit, and then the cornerback over here in the light blue, Peters, he's in a run fit. So it's not as good as cover 4 at stopping the run, but it's still better at stopping the run than, say, a cover 3 would be, or a man defense. Why else it's good? It's very hard to one-play touchdown a cover 6. A lot of people like to throw one-play touchdowns. It's extremely hard to do a one-play touchdown against a cover 6. And just aside from that, you know, it's just pretty cut and dry. People have trouble with it. I've noticed that for the past couple years. Whenever I mix in cover 6, I tend to get a lot of interceptions or force a lot of, people throwing the ball away or taking coverage sacks because they, like I say, they don't practice against cover 6. They're not used to it. They get confused when you throw a cover 6 out there. I would even say the same thing for me. There's a lot of times when I'm in games and people randomly throw in a cover 6 and I'm like, man, nothing's open. I'm not even sure what's going on. And I go throw the ball away and then previous play pops up. Sure enough, it's cover 6. Even me, someone that runs it a lot, has trouble with it because, again, it's just a lot of people don't run it that often, so even I don't practice against it. But you will be surprised when you randomly mix in cover 6. It's not something I spam, but every 3, 4, 5 plays or so, I'll throw cover 6 in there, and you'll just be surprised at how many picks you get or how many coverage sacks or forcing them to throw the ball away, throwing in the coverage. People just get confused with cover 6. It's really just that cut and dry. There's many good positives about it that I've already named, but the biggest thing overall is people just simply get confused with it, the majority of people that play online. So knowing that, you need to mix this in more often, and I guarantee you, if you start mixing this coverage in, you will undoubtedly see your defense step up a notch. You will get more turnovers on down, more interceptions a game, guaranteed. So those are the 3 tips I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as always, and if you did, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.